Come back. You can just click on the speaker view so that you will get the view of my screen as well as my the face screen. So that will be fine for you. Wait for 1 or a few seconds, a few more minutes. People are joining still. Thirty-eight members has been joined as of now. Can you see my screen? Okay, good, good. Roshi, don't write anything, don't do any annotations. Okay, I think this is the time to start. Already there are 54 participants have been joined. And so I'm going to handle this lab also. This is CSL 703. Can you hear my voice? And anyone can write it in the chat box. Am I audible? Yes. Yes. Thank you for your responses. Okay, thank you. Thank you. You can stop responding. The subject, the lab code is CSL 703. And so this artificial intelligence computing lab. So this subject, which comprises of two separate subjects. The first one is that artificial intelligence subject, and the second one is that soft computing. So in the theoretical section, both you will have the soft computing as well as AI part, and you will be learning about both these the elements which are related to the AI as well as the soft computing lab. The course objective or the lab outcome for this subject is that, so now what are the things you are going to learn from this lab are the first to realize the basic techniques to build an intelligent system. When we talk about an intelligent system, I could say that the user, we are the programmer, we are trying to develop a model, that model which is going to act like a human. When we talk about the intelligent system, so that as the ability to think like a human, then act like a human, and that is going to perform all type of activities which are similar to the human. Basically, we are trying to develop a model artificially which is going to act like a human, or act like a human being, what type of intelligence actions we perform. That is the first outcome. And the second course outcome is to create a knowledge base and apply appropriate search technique used in the problem solving. When you talk about this, create a knowledge base means that, so with the help of the programming and the different programming tools, and we are going to create a knowledge base. When you talk about the knowledge base, basically we learn the certain machine learning algorithm in the machine learning techniques. The first one is supervised learning as well as unsupervised learning. Specifically, when we talk about the supervised learning is that, so where we'll feed or we will train the model with the help of some existing values, right? Maybe the previous experience that is going to be stored in the model or the machine, and based on the previous experience or previous action, Now, whenever it faces a new situation based on its experience as well as the knowledge and the information decision already took, which already stored in the knowledge base, right? Based on that information, it is going to take a decision. So that the knowledge base refers to that maybe the previous information, what are the different images, samples we are feeding or we are giving the machine for training. All these things comes under the knowledge base, and we are going to use and for the certain searching kind of techniques very similar to that what we use in the data structure, right? The depth first search as well as the breadth first search, now to find out the optimal solution by a intelligent system or intelligent agent. The third lab outcome will be to apply the supervised and then unsupervised learning algorithm. That so we are going to implement or we are going to develop a model which is going to be based on the supervised as well as unsupervised learning with related to the intelligent system. And the fourth course outcome which is completely rely on the artificial intelligence. I mean, even this third also which is related to the soft computing as well as artificial intelligence. In that, we are trying to develop a fuzzy controller system, right? In that, how the when you talk about the fuzzy means that so it is going to take a decision. Samad Khan, don't do any annotation here in the screen. Okay, fine. So we are going to design a fuzzy controller system. When we talk about the fuzzy means that something which is in the confused state, how it is going to make a conclusion based on the certain information. Very similar to that, we are going to design a fuzzy controller system. So these are the four lab outcomes for the specific subject, artificial intelligence and then soft computing lab. So I'll quickly explain about the list of experiment we are going to perform throughout the semester. The first, the experiment will be to identify the problem as well as PES, performance evaluation, and then activators and then sensor description, and then we will be doing the problem formations. Explanation of the activity which includes select the problem statement relevant to the AI. So when we talk about that, so this activity or this experiment which completely focuses on that. Suppose if you are developing a model for the real-time problem, say for example, if you are developing an autonomous car, how that autonomous car which is going to interact with the real world environment, right? And what are the things, what are the information you are going to feed into the machine so that that machine or that automated car, the self-driver car, which is going to work efficiently, and how that is going to have the interfaces as well as interaction with the environment as well as other users, so that there will be the smooth running of the vehicle. So in that, we'll be identifying the problem and then we'll identify the PEAS, right? That we will discuss later, right? Performance evolutions and then actuators and then sensor, right? And then the second lab outcome, the second experiment will be to introduce AI programming language. So this is basically here we are going to use a separate programming language. I mean, Prolog, which is the logic programming language. This is completely different than the language you learned so far, which is the normal procedural language. Your C, C++, Java, and Python. This is completely different than that, the procedural language, right? So here we are going to have the language which is Prolog, right? We will start with that. And then lab 3 in which we are going to implement start as well as actual implementation of, here we are going to create a knowledge base or knowledge representation, and then you are going to use with the any one of the AI programming language, or if you are convenient with the C or Java, and you can use any of the language to develop the expert model. Saibaz Ansari, mute yourself. The fourth experiment in which we are going to perform, as I mentioned in the lab outcome, we are going to perform the searching algorithm to reach the goal state. Now to identify the optimal solution, we are going to use any searching method, whether it is the breadth first or a depth first search to find out the optimal solutions. Then the fifth, sixth, seventh experiments are which are related to that. The soft computing, in that will develop a Michelopitz model. I mean, in the last semester also I was explaining about the Michelopitz model and how it is finding the optimal solution or optimal hyperplane for the AND gate, OR gate, and then XOR gate, right? very similar to that. Here we are going to programming, programmatically here we are going to demonstrate as well as execute that to find out the solutions, and then we are going to implement a fuzzy control system, and then the seventh experiment will be based on your basic supervised and then unsupervised based on the neural network learning rules. So here the supervised learning or unsupervised learning can be implemented only based on the neural network technologies. And the lab number, experiment number 8 or 9, which will be any one of the case study which will be selected by you, and then so you can design as well as you can do the complete analysis as well as you can implement the complete case study for the practice exercise. So that is the complete case study, right? So these are the overall overview of your the list of experiment which you are going to perform as well as you are going to get the hands-on experience throughout the semester for this subject lab, which is AI and SC lab. Now, so this is the scheme for the lab, right? I think you might be knowing about that. The term work, which is again the lab number 1 to 4 are designed to implement an intelligence system using artificial intelligence technique, and then the experiment number 5 to 7 are designed to implement an intelligence system using a soft computing technique. As I mentioned earlier, so this lab which consists of two subjects. One is the first half is that artificial intelligence, and then the second half is going to be your soft computing. So this lab in which you are going to perform the experiment, the combination of AI and then soft computing techniques, and then the lab number 8 or 9 which will be a case study, and then the mark or the term work split up for the complete journal submission is that for lab experiment performance in which you will carry 15 marks, and then for assignments 5 marks, and then the attendance with 5 marks. So these are the prescribed segregation pattern for your complete term work marks, right, based on the university scheme. So very similar to the theoretical content, what are the ready resources or the contents or the materials you will get, you will find it from the Moodle course account is that the first you will get the lab outcome as well as the lab objective, which is specific to the particular lab, and then you will get the list of experiment with the complete syllabus, and then you will get the lab teaching plan, which experiment will be performed on which practicals, and then you will be getting the ebooks as well as links related to the practical and other experiments, and then you will get a list of experiments as well as the other write-ups for the practicals for your better understanding, and then you will get the complete lab manual. So these are the basic overview of the lab. The AISC lab. Launda, what is this? So I think I gave the overview for the course. The lab, right? AISC lab, right? And in case if you have any doubt and how this is going to be conducted, you can write it in the chat box. Okay, I accepted. It's by mistake, Samad Khan. No, basically, what is meant by the soft computing means is that so there are the different the entities which is available very similar to that. There you will be finding out the fuzzy computing or the fuzzy logic, right? When we talk about the fuzzy logic, simply I could say that. So suppose if we wanted to take a decision, say for example, when you are implementing any machine learning technique, so that is going to give only the results. Say for example, if I wanted to check that whether the person is passed or failed in the theory or the particular examination, and if you are designing a machine learning model, and so that is going to you are going to define a threshold value. When you define a threshold value, say for example, and if you are appearing for the Mumbai University examination and you are scoring the mark X, right, the X will be compared to the threshold value. So as of the university criteria, your theory criteria will be 32 is the pass mark, right? 32 or 35. 32 is the pass mark, I guess, right? And suppose if you got less than the 32 mark, now that will be considered as the fail. You have been failed in the examination. Suppose if you score more than 32, 33 or 50, whatever it is, and it will just mention as a pass or fail. So here the machine learning model, which is going to give only the Boolean results, whether it is the student is passed in the examination or whether he is failed in the examination. When we implement the machine learning, I mean the soft computing or the fuzzy logic, now with the help of the fuzzy logic, we will come to know that what was the mark is scored, the number of the percentage of mark is scaled, right? The number of students who lies in the range of from 0 to 20, and the number of students who scored lies in the range of 20 to 30, and then who was scored just passed in the border 30 to 35, and the number of students who scored more than 40 to 50, and the number of students who scored in the range of 60 to 80, and who are all got 100% results, 100 out of 100. So very similar to that, when we talk about the soft computing, that we are going to have the certain classification rather than the just binomial values results yes or no. Here we are going to find out that the percentage of accuracy, the percentage of the particular value. So that is going to be implemented using the soft computing specifically. That we will be using the different member function. Maybe example, the triangle member function, trapezoidal member function, like that. We have the different entities through which we are going to make sure that how much percentage the particular things or the particular results has been worked. Instead of getting the single yes or no answer, here we are going to work further to identify that what was the thing which has to be improved. Bharat, I think am I answered for your query? Are you satisfied? Okay. Okay, with this, I'll just complete the overview of the lab, and then we will move into the practical experience, and then we'll start with the experiments. I'll stop sharing the screen. So as I mentioned in that experiments, there are so many experiments we are going to discuss as well as perform. After that, so because we did not start with the theoretical part, so I'll start with the introduction to the programming language, Prolog, so that you will get a better idea. That will be more helpful for you to cope up with the second experiments. We'll start with the Prolog. So when we talk about the Prolog is the programming logic. So here this language which is going to be used to identify, or you are going to check for the logic. Now this is completely which is going to different. Can you all see my screen? I just wanted to make sure that. Can you see my screen? Anyone? Yes, that's fine. Okay, stop responding. Okay, I got it. I understood. As I mentioned, so this who is that Sampyu Maila? Excuse me, there are some. This in this practical, and we'll be discussing about the programming language, which is the Prolog, right? Prolog is a tool or a language, I could say that it's a descriptive language in that. So this is completely different from your normal procedural language, what you studied as a C, C++, Java, and other language, right? So this logic is specially developed for understanding the logic, right? Instead of when we talk about the procedural language and what we use the C, C++, right? How we will perform the experiments, right? So suppose if you are using the Java or a C++ file, right? The first thing is that you will import the file and then you will create a main function, void main function. Inside that you will declare the variables as well as you will declare the member function and then you will define the function and then you will write the code and then you will print the results as well as you will what is that you will return the results, right? So in that, so here the programmer who is going to mention the step-by-step instruction or is going to give the procedure in what way, how the program or how your program is has to be executed to do any type of action, whether it is a calculation or any type of problem, right? So here this is the programming logic in which is going to completely different with the normal procedural language. In that, so here we are going to use the language only for what you are going to do that, and we are not going to bother about that how it is going to do. We are going to take a decision making what type of decision which has to be taken. For this implementation of the Prolog, so these are the compiler which can be used SWI Prolog and then BAN Prolog, K Prolog and then Prolog plus plus. After that, so this Swiss SWI Swi Prolog we are going to use for our the practical experiences as well as experiments, right? And that I'll explain this Swi Prolog part separately, how to install and then how to start with the program. Before we'll cover some theoretical part, you will get better understanding when you start working with the programs. Now, this is a simple history and the programming logic, which was introduced by the Pliffy Russell in the year of 1975. And so, this language, this programming tool, which is used for the predicate calculus, and this is a declarative or descriptive language, right? Which is going to use a different predicates. I mean, the predicates again, it's the fact and then rules. When you talk about the predicate, which is going to say something about the universal truth, whatever the defined, whatever the things we are going to store in the knowledge database, so that is going to be considered as the truth, and based on that we are going to use some rules, and based on that it is going to inference the inference mechanism will be used to find out the answer which is stored in the database. Now these are the other few more points which I could add with that the programming logic. So this programming logic, which is intended to draw inferences or conclusion from the facts and results. Before that, this is simple, I could say that the simple architecture are the interfaces between the different entities. So can you able to see that? So the left side, this is a knowledge base. And when we talk about the knowledge base, what I was talking about the knowledge base, you can write it in the chat box. What is meant by this knowledge base I was explaining? Knowledge base. Okay. Abdul Khan. Abdul Khan. Send your reply. I'll be waiting in the chat box for your reply. Else you will be marked absent. Abdul Khan. Anil Sabkhan. Send your reply. What is meant by knowledge base? Chat. Okay, Abdul Khan. Yes. Tell me what is the knowledge base? I was talking about the knowledge base. Repository of the articles and help documentation. Very good. Ashish Panda. Okay, excellent, excellent answers. So, what do you mean by this knowledge base? Okay, good. Abdullah, excellent, excellent. Now, so this the diagram which consists of three elements or entity. The first element in the left side, which is the knowledge base, and the middle, yes, good. Information is stored. Okay, fine. And the second entity which is going to be the model which you are going to develop, and then the third one is that the query means that here we are going to pass some query and we are going to check that how this is going to work. Now The machine, as we discussed in the machine learning method, the machine which is going to be trained with the existing data. Here the knowledge base which consists of the repository, which might be the universal truth, the truth value which is going to be stored in the machine, right? And we are going to feed the information, or we are going to fact with the different facts as well as predicate values and then universal truth, all these things into the machine. And the machine is trained. After training, the machine will be, we can call it as the intelligent machine. Now I'm going to make sure that from the interpreter, I'm going to pass on a query to the machine. Now I'm going to ensure that whether my model is working or whether my model is doing the logic or giving the decision or taking the decision properly or not. For that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to send the query to the machines, right? And after sending the query, the machine, if it is a trained machine, or what it does that if it is connected to the knowledge base, and it will get the answers from the knowledge base, or it is based on its previous experience. Now that is going to be, the machine is going to send the results. The output may be yes or no or other type of outputs. So here we can get maybe the yes output or no output, maybe other decision which it took, right? As well as when you talk about that, the machine in which we are going to feed is that the fact as well as rules. So can you able to understand what is this? There are three elements. The middle one is that machine. The machine will be trained as the basic knowledge base information. When you talk about the knowledge base, are the repository of the universal truth as well as the facts as well as the different rules, right? Which we are going to uh, give the instruction to the machines. That is going to be fed into the machine. And once if these information are fed into the machine, and then with the help of the query processor, we are going to send the query to the machine, and we are going to test that whether our model is working properly or not. Now, I could explain with the simple sentences or example. This is an example. John owns the book. So this sentence, I could say that this consists of two objects. The first, book is an object, and the second, John is the person. Or both entity, I can call it as the object itself, right? The first, book is an object, and the second, John is the person. What is the meaning of this? John as the book, or might be John owns the book. John is the owner of the book. Here the own is going to be the relationship between the two entities or the two objects, right? Now this I use the word the object. This is nowhere related to the object which we use in the procedural language. What is meant by object in a procedural language? Java? Can anyone just explain what is meant by object in C++, object oriented programming language? Object is a real-time entity, I could say that, an instance of the class. When we call it as the vehicle is an object, there are different entities. I could say that two-wheeler is an object, again bike is an object, car is an object, and then the four-wheeler lorry is an object. The object, you all might be knowing about that object, which consists of the different the properties as well as the different methods, right? Or I could say there is the behavior as well as the functions, right? And the objects are created to carry the specific task, right? And there could be the multiple instances of the objects, right? Object 1 and then object 2 and then object 3, so that are have the ability to access the main functions or the member function which are created in the main classes, and then it is going to provide the results. Now here I am talking about the object which is nowhere related to your object. I mean object which is the term which is used in our the programming language or procedural language, right? Here I am going to consider here it is the simple entity. Here we are going to use the book is an entity. Now how that is going to have the relationship with the user John is means that, which is the knowledge, I mean the relationship between the two entities, that John owns the book. Here the owns which are refers to the relationship, and when you talk about the knowledge base is the repository. So can you all understand with this, the two entities are the three entities, I could say that book is an object. Again, John is also an object. The relationship between the two objects is that the John owns is the relationship, right? John owns the book. Very similar to this, the complete sentences I could say that it is a the fact. Based on that, so we are going to do the further explanation with the same kind of things, right? And when we talk about the prologue paradigm, and so here this Here the machine which is going to be completely stored with the load the facts as well as rules into the database. So here the complete the box which I could consider as a knowledge base. And whenever we are going to make a queries to the database and see if the fact is that whether the fact what we are asking whether it exists in the database. In case if it is not, again it is going to give the wrong as well as no or false information, false output. If the database and if the fact is present in the knowledge base, and that is going to give the results yes. And then so we are going to make sure that whether which can be implied from the facts or the stored facts are and the other rules therein. Now how the system interaction which takes place. When you talk about that, how the system interaction takes place, the first step is that we are going to insert the facts and the rules into the database. Right, as I was talking about that, John owns books. So that is going to be the fact, right? That type of the complete facts which is going to be inserted into the database. Here the database I am going to assign as is the knowledge base, and the knowledge base which is going to be loaded into the machine. And the second thing is that we are going to ask a questions to the machines and for to make sure that whether the model has been or the machine has been trained properly, and to check that whether it can able to fetch the information from its memory. So here these are the two basic steps. We are going to store the facts as well as rules into the database or knowledge base, and then so that knowledge base information which is going to be transferred to the machine. And the second thing is that we are going to make sure that whether the model or trained mathematical model which is going to work perfectly based on the queries which were passed by the interpreter. Next, we'll discuss about the facts. When we talk about the facts, which is, as I mentioned earlier, which is the universal truth, the facts are used to represent unchanging information about the objects and their relationship. As I was talking about that John owns book, it is going to be the complete fact, and it is providing the relationship between the object book and the another object or the person John, right? Only the facts in the prologue in the database can be used for problem solving. So in order to do the problem solving, we are going to consider all these facts which are going to be stored, and then based on the facts only the machine which is going to take some decisions. Now there are standing instruction how the facts should be written in the prologue, right? So when we talk about the facts, all the facts that should be starting with the capital, I mean the small letters only, right? So there is no use of capital letters for the facts when we are writing the facts, and the facts and its the other information, all the objects that should be written only in the smaller letters. All of you pay attention that once if this meeting gets over, you can rejoin with the same meeting ID with the same password. We'll continue with the practical in the second session also. Now, these are the few examples of the facts. Now, first, what I'm trying to mention here is that, so here, the variable. So here, I was talking about the variable which is gold. Here, gold, I could say that gold is an object, and the relationship between this gold and the other is that this is valuable. So here I am assigning that the gold is valuable. Very similar to that, the other fact I could say that salt is also a valuable. So here this is an object, and so this is the relationship between. Say there could be any number of the object which could be separated using the comma also, right? And the relationship that actually the relationship should be right outside inside the braces we supposed to write the objects, right? Again the third object which is a cost, and in bracket it is diamond, and always this fact that should end with the semicolon, sorry, not end with the uh, period. Without this fact will not be fulfilled, that will not be completed, right? So again, one more example, I could say that red in bracket stop. So say for example, I consider these are the facts for your autonomous car. Suppose if you are designing an automatic car, and if you have the camera in that vehicle, and it wants to sense that based on the signal, it wants to take a move, or whether it want to no stop, or it wanted to wait. So based on this, the signals, if the signal is red, and that is going to be stop automatically, right? And then